From the national newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. Quebec Premier François Legault has called for students to end their pro-Palestinian encampment protests at McGill University's downtown campus in Montreal. Legault says he expects police to dismantle the tents, describing the protest as illegal. McGill's encampment is one of several across Canada, including at the University of Ottawa, the University of Toronto, and the University of British Columbia. Federal Justice Minister Arif Virani says the operational decisions of the police are always theirs, noting that politicians shouldn't be directing police to take action. The number of people arrested in connection with protests on college campuses in the U.S. against Israel's war on Gaza continues to grow.
The sound of protesters chanting at UCLA, where more than 200 people were zip-tied and taken away by police. The Associated Press has tallied arrests at 35 schools since the protest began at Columbia University on April 18th, and that number stands at 2,000. Some of the campus protests popping up over the last 2 weeks have led to agreements with administrators to consider the protesters' demands. More often, though, they have led to arrests after demonstrators refuse to disperse or vandalize property. I'm Shelley Adler.
The international coordinator of a pro-Palestinian activist group who was arrested in a Vancouver hate crime investigation has now been released from police custody with an order to not attend any protests for the next 5 months. Charlotte Cates was arrested after she gave a speech praising the Hamas terror group and the October 7th attack on Israel. The Samadoun Palestinian Prisoner Solidarity Network has been involved in promoting and organizing numerous pro-Palestinian protests since the October 7th attack. After decades of criticism from Indigenous leaders about Ottawa's slow progress when it comes to implementing modern treaties with self-governing Indigenous nations, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced the much-anticipated change at a meeting earlier today.
So today, I am extremely happy to announce that together we will be moving forward to create a Commissioner for Modern Treaty Implementation as an agent of Parliament.
The Prime Minister says the new treaty commissioner will ensure that Ottawa is held to account no matter who holds power. A Cape Breton man with a collection of police uniforms, patches, and hats has pleaded guilty to a charge under the province's Police Identity Management Act. Cape Breton Regional Police say the suspect was arrested last May after a search of 2 residents turned up 7 firearms, more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and several articles of police clothing and equipment believed to be from the RCMP and Ontario Provincial Police, including an authentic RCMP uniform. The provincial law was drafted after a Nova Scotia man disguised himself as a Mountie and went on a shooting rampage in 2020, killing 22 people north of Halifax. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Toronto center star Austin Matthews will miss the Toronto Maple Leafs' must-win Game 6 tonight against visiting Boston Bruins. The 26-year-old center also missed Toronto's 2-1 overtime victory in Boston on Tuesday that cut the Bruins' lead in the first-round NHL playoff series to 3-2. The Leafs have said Matthews, who had a league-high 69 goals in the regular season, is dealing with an illness. Ryan Mountcastle and Jorge Mateo each homered and drove in 2 runs, lifting the Baltimore Orioles to a series-deciding 7-2 victory over the New York Yankees. Ryan McKenna also homered, and Joran Westberg had 2-run triple. Tiger Woods is headed to the U.S. Open after receiving a special exemption. The 3-time U.S. Open champion last contended at the major in 2020 at Pebble Beach. It's the first time he's needed an exemption. The U.S. Open is June 13th to 16th at Pinehurst No. 2 in North Carolina. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.